Okay, Metal Max hanging out here, and I've got two of the guys from the band I Manifest, Cameron Paget, guitar player, and vocalist
Strauss.
Rob Stouse. How's it going, guys?
Good, how are you? It's going good.
Same here. Yeah. So I gotta be honest with you. This is the first band interview I have done in a matter of months. You know, the last one I did was all the way back in the beginning of 2020 before this whole pandemic shit started. But before we get into all things I Manifest, why don't we start with how long the band has been around and how'd y'all form?
We started out in the late 2019, I think, is when we wrote our first couple songs.
Yeah, I wrote the first song, Mistaken Martyr, in probably December of 2019, and we were kind of talked about forming something new, and then it kind of kicked off in probably January 2020, I would say.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
So we got three other band members. At the time, it was me, Cam, and Jim, our other guitarist. And it was just the three of us jamming. We were just working on tracks by ourselves. And then, we just kind of were looking for, a drummer and a bassist. And they got a guy that Ian works with you guys, right?
He works with Jim.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, the bassist is a coworker of Jim, the other guitarist. And then Mike, our drummer, I found him on...
YouTube?
Oh, yeah, I found him on YouTube. He was doing covers of... different metal songs, so yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. As long as they're done, as long as they're covered correctly, I hope.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's cool when a metal band can say cover a pop tune, but when a pop artist covers a metal tune, like Mariah Carey doing Def Leppard, bringing on the Heartbreak. Now since you guys have been together and whatnot, talk about how things were going when suddenly this pandemic started. What were your activities at the time?
So, in the band, we were still in the process of, writing, the first couple of our songs, getting them all, perfected and stuff. And we were still in the middle of finding the other band members yet. We had just came across Mike.
That was March, April, maybe?
Yeah, March or April, and we had a bunch of dates for shows and stuff that were all booked up, and we were just waiting to play them, and then everything shut down, so that's pretty much how that went. So,
when this all first started as well, I just never imagined that it would just decimate things to the point where that a lot of stuff would be shut down. Not just the music scene, but also certain things like sports, movies, get-togethers, big, huge, specialty type festivals. I'm pretty sure you guys were bummed at the fact that Summerfest didn't happen last year.
Yeah. I mean, I usually always go to it. I mean, I've never played Summerfest, but it's still fun to go and hang out. And
I have yet to go, but when I do, I promise the one stage I'll probably check out will be the Rebel stage. That's where all the underground, hip, cool metal bands are at. The ones that don't get enough press, unfortunately. But then again, maybe that's a good thing. So some of the songs you guys have, I'm just kind of looking over a few of them on your Instagram, and I guess why don't I mention three of them, and you tell me the meaning behind them. I'll start with Planting the Seed.
Planting the Seed was it's really a song about people's greed, I guess. It's not really a vendetta against anybody in particular. I guess it's just calling it like I sees it, I guess.
Let's see, and we've also got there's a song also called DK. Talk about that.
DK was actually written about the Black Plague in the 1300s in Europe. I just thought it was a cool subject to. I had watched some like YouTube documentary about it. I just thought it was an interesting subject. So
I think it was a perfect timing to release it.
oh yeah, that we wrote that right before COVID came out, and it like about a completely different disease. But yeah, the
Kind of
timing
a
was,
creepy
like,
coincidence, huh? Kind of like
yeah,
Slayer releasing their album "God Hates Us All" on the date of 9/11.
yeah, yeah.
So, as I understand it, I believe you guys have already got some dates scheduled, and I noticed that one of them actually attracted someone who was criticizing you guys for wanting to put together a show even while this pandemic is still going on. What's the deal with that?
I suppose obviously we're not gonna like encourage people not to wear masks. Like I think like going to a show at any time, even pandemic aside, is like that's totally your own choice. You know, no one's forcing anybody to be there. I
Oh,
guess
totally,
if you
yeah.
come out. If not, that's fine too.
I think personally, I mean, I think it's okay to have shows, just maybe, have the proper social distancing etiquettes. That's just my
Right. Just
opinion.
wear a mask, or do whatever makes you feel comfortable. I mean,
Yeah,
like, we're not here
exactly.
to judge or anything,
So you
so.
guys, so you guys have an EP out already, and I also understand that you're working on the next one, which should be completed hopefully by as the year goes on. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think we're trying out stylistically some different things with the next EP.
You're not gonna go
The
all
first
Bring Me the Horizon now, are you?
No,
No,
no, no. We're keeping it heavy. We're keeping it metal.
Okay,
Still plenty
good.
of screams and breakdowns and everything else. Just
Because
I don't know, just a
what
different
Bring Me the
vibe.
Horizon did, man, I thought that was just. I get that they wanted to mature, but they went way too far, and let's just say they're trying to sound more like Muse than they are Lamb of God.
Objectively, I think they do what they do well. However, I think for a lot of people, it's just a shock because I grew up with Bring Me the Horizon back when they had come out with "This Is What the Edge of Your Seat Will Looks Like" and "Pray for Plagues" and stuff like that back in their deathcore phase, and then they gradually went into like a harder rock kind of sound, which I understood. I kind of seen that direction, but then I think once they started going into the pop type of stuff, I think that's where they lost a lot of people, and people didn't
Yeah.
really like understand where that came from.
And yet, there are certain bands out there over the years that have said, well, if we wind up losing a few fans in order to gain a few more, I guess that's really how it goes. I mean, look at bands like I don't know, Metallica or Avenged Sevenfold, you know. But
Yeah.
but I mean, but if you listen to a lot of Avenged Sevenfold's recent stuff, it's actually not so bad.
Yeah, like I said, objectively they do what they do well.
Yeah.
It's just it's just like it's a shock to hear that coming from the same people that were a couple years earlier doing something completely different.
Now, real quick, I want to ask, like, obviously we talked about the two song titles that you guys have, but I just want to ask in general when it comes to your lyrics, are they supposed to, do you try to make them a little political, more political, less, or what kind of variety do you go for when you write lyrics these days?
I guess a lot of my more political lyrics are more coming from a place of being fed up with the politics rather than, being stuck to. I think too many people are stuck to a political ideal, whether it be conservative or liberal or, whatever you want to call it. I think people are just they get too into it, man, and most of the stuff has nothing to do with their personal lives, and I feel like it's people are just dividing themselves.
Do you guys ever tackle anything religious?
Um,
And feel free to jump in any time, Cameron.
I don't really think so. I mean, some of the titles we do have give off like a religious attitude towards them, but like I don't think necessarily anything that we have is really religious.
yeah, it's neither religious nor anti-religious, I would say. I guess my only issue with religion is when people try to push it on other people, and that has in the past historically has led to a lot of atrocities, and
Which is kind of what Mistaken Martyr is about.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, yeah. Now I want to ask you, I got two more to ask you here. One I want to ask you is, what are some of the bands that have totally, influenced you in terms of your sound? And it doesn't have to be just metal bands, by the way.
Right.
What bands did you guys grow up listening to? Let's put it that way.
Well, for me, I used to be really big into Avenged Sevenfold. I'm now into Trivium. I'm a big metalcore guy. But also After the Burial, Whitechapel.
Awesome band.
Yeah, just be like that, pretty much.
Do you guys have any non-metal influences?
I got a few. I think when I first started listening to metal, I think really I started listening to like Green Day. That was the first album that I ever bought was Green Day American Idiot.
Wow.
I still like that specific song American Idiot. That one's
you do know that there's a Green Day before American Idiot, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
That's just what was out when I.
Oh, okay.
I'm 27, so.
Well, as you can tell, I'm wearing a Beatles shirt, and
Yeah.
they were the first band I ever listened to. But as the years went by, my musical tastes continued to evolve, and by the time the late '90s rolled around, my metal phase began by being introduced to Korn. Yes, I said it, Korn.
Hell yeah.
I'm not ashamed to say that I like them because I do.
Yeah,
I like them way.
I think Korn.
I like them way more than I like them way better than Limp Bizkit or Linkin Park.
Right. Yeah, I would say I'd like them better than Linkin Park too. I think Chester Bennington, in my opinion, was a better vocalist.
God rest his soul.
If I'm listening to like the guitars and drums and stuff, I think Korn's got him beat that way. It's just more my style.
So, wrapping this up, let's talk. Why don't you talk about what your future plans are? You've got shows that are coming up. Talk about a few of those and what you hope to have happen.
So now, for sure, we have one show coming up in the near future. February 27th or 26th?
26, yeah.
It's the bar in West Dallas, I believe.
Yep, just outside of Milwaukee.
I know where it is.
And then we have one that is sort of kind of in the making right now, and that's down at Hattrick's down in Kenosha, Wisconsin. So I think that was March 27th is the date that we're looking at for that. So
okay.
Yeah. Just not set in stone yet. I think we're working out.
Any potential bands that are being tossed around that you guys will play with, or are they pretty much all set in stone?
It's been not to like keep coming back and talking about COVID and beating the dead horse with that, but I've talked to many other bands because I've been in other bands in the past and stuff. So I got a good grasp of who's all playing in the area and whatnot. So, and I talked to a lot of bands, and it seems like they went either one of two ways. If I feel like a lot of bands went on hiatus and just stopped doing stuff, or other bands kind of like us where all they've been doing is writing and coming out with new material. There's no like middle ground, I guess, because what else are you gonna do? So
what else indeed? But
So I think we will see a couple new bands come out of the pandemic because people got more time to
oh
do
yes,
whatever rather than.
not just that, but I think that when this pandemic officially does come to an end, the virus will still be there. Don't get me wrong; it just won't be
Yeah.
as prevalent then as it has been now. But when things start to go back to what they once were, what resembles what they once were, one of the things that's definitely going to have a lot more people coming out will be live music shows. At least the local ones, smaller ones as they were.
Yeah, I think people.
Because let's
I think
face it,
people
we're all
take
hungry
stuff
for
like that for
entertainment right
granted.
now. I
Say that
took
again.
things for granted too, and you know what? After this is all over with, I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, nobody could ever foresee this kind of thing happening. So I guess it was a shock for everyone. So I mean, even if going to shows weren't your favorite thing to do, at least once this is all over, it'll be wow, I could do this again, type of thing.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you guys for taking the time out to talk with me, Metal Max.
oh yeah,
And
thanks for having us on.
at any time, and I look forward to hearing more about what goes on for you guys in the future. And just to recap, the dates of when people can come and see you guys are.
April.
February 26th.
February 26th and March 27th, possibly. Stay updated.
Fingers crossed for that one, folks. Hopefully they go without a hitch, and hopefully they will not be getting canceled. Hopefully by then, more and more people in the metal scene, if they have brains, will get a vaccine.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks again, Cameron and Rob, for stopping by, and hopefully the next time we do this, we'll be doing this in person, and maybe you'll come out to Madison for a show at some point.
Oh, absolutely. I miss Madison. It's been too long.
I'll bet. All right. Thanks again, guys, and catch these guys when they come play your town. Hopefully by the time this pandemic is over, and catch you later on AskMetalMax.com. All right.